Right, so just to resume, so I've kind of gone back in with the tip of the pencil to make these harder, scratchy lines for the stalk, which I think you can probably see looks more similar than the soft side shading, which I'm doing for the skin of the pear. Now, on a pear, I don't know if you can see in the video, but there's lots of little speckles and dots and all sorts of things. That is what is going to take the long amount of time, which is why when I say a observational drawing will take about 2-3 hours, because you want to really put a lot of effort into that kind of thing. You don't want to be rushing on the detail, because that's what will make it look the most realistic. If you just do lots of dots in a straight line, that's going to look completely out of place. It won't follow the contours of the shape. It won't look realistic, and it'll just be a waste of time, and you might as well just put your drawing in the bin. And that seems a bit harsh, but if you want to get a good grade, you need to really follow these guidelines, because they'll, I know what I'm talking about. So I'm still building up all this shadow. Don't be afraid to go quite dark, especially in some areas that needs it. And also, it's not completely smooth around this pear. It's got all kind of like lumps and bumps on it, because it's a natural object. So it's grown, around leaves and branches and stuff, and it's affected its shape. And also, it's been in my fruit bowl for a little while. Right, so earlier I mentioned about stumps and things. If you haven't got anything like that, you could use a cotton bud. That's perfectly fine. Or some really, really tightly wrapped newspaper works quite well. So I think that's a good start. Right, now I'm going to start working into the finer detail. Now remember, for fine detail you want a nice sharp pencil. So that's what I'm going to do for that. Now remember what I said, nice grey hand. If you lent on a piece of scrap paper, that would stop that happening. Just use your rubber. Tidy up your page. It'll make a world of difference. Try not to rub your hand over your work because you'll just smudge it more. Right. So that's that. It can be worked in more. I'm just not going to bother because I think you get the idea really. But you do need to spend some time on it. I mean, I've only spent about 10-15 minutes. Also on here you can see there's a shadow underneath. It'd be really nice if there was a shadow added to here. So I'm just going to add a quick. Now I'm going to be a bit more loose with this because it's not that important. It's just to give it a bit of context. So I used a pencil for that, but you can also use other drawing implements like pens, biros, charcoal. I've got a fine liner here, and these ones are quite good because when you add water to them, the ink runs in a really nice way, which I can show you in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this pair, and I'm going to get a different pair. And I'm going to lay it like that. So with my pencil, I'm just going to draw, I'm going to add it to this other drawing basically to create a composition. So it's as if it's pretending to be behind what the other pair, where the other pair was. Right. So I'm going to use my pen if it works. Now, obviously there's different drawing styles, so I'm doing this one a little bit more rough, and that's purely because I'm going to be adding water to it, but remember, it's still an observational drawing, so I am still looking at where the detail is. I'm still trying to replicate different shapes and textures that I see, and not make it up. I'm going to put in the main scrolly bits on these pairs. It's good to have a kind of mix of, you know, really refined drawing and then major experimentation. It's all part of development and refining your idea. Right, so I'm just going to go and get a paintbrush and add a bit of water to that. Although you could just keep it like that actually, because that looks quite nice. Yeah, tiny bit of water. I'm going to work with this shadow bit first, I think. And also, if you were to do this, you don't have to add water to all of it. You could just add water to a section. Why don't you do it to that bit? But I think I'll do it to the softer bits, and then try and leave the really dark areas just as pen. And also as well, you can leave it to dry and then work back into it with the same pen or a different pen or pencil. Entirely up to you. and also the amount of water that you use will determine how dark the ink from the pen comes out. Quite happy with that. So that took 2 seconds, but again, it's still an observational drawing. You can still see the shape of the pear, and it's just a different style of drawing. So let's have a look at that page. So it's quite top heavy, but that gives you room for a bit of annotation and a title. Titles are really important. Again, don't just write it in your normal handwriting. Think about where it's going and what you want it to say. So I'm going to pop it in this gap here. So observational drawing, and then I might make it a bit more fancy like I did before. Double up some bits, because as well now I've got a theme. This is how all my titles will now look. Good to have. So obviously, you know, you can do things like bubble writing and things, but it just looks a bit childish really. You're in GCSE now. Observational drawing, and then down here you can write what you've done. So you want to leave yourself some space. So for my theme of fruit, I decided to draw 2 pairs, one in shaded pencil, one in ink, and with water. The variation of styles work well to show the shape and form of the fruits. I will now develop these further, linking to my artist's style. Obviously, write that a bit neater. I've just done it a bit quicker, and you can write in much more depth. You can say what you struggled with, what you liked about it, how you think you can improve. And also, if I open it back up, so that's one, and then you've got a spare page there. So what I would do is I would carry on drawing some more things down here, and then you could like put in photographs, like mix it up like with photographs of your observational drawings with your actual drawings, and that would look really cool. Yeah. Right, thanks.